Shalom, La Bachayar Yum, Shal Yasha'Allah, meaning, of course, peace to the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Wa Kal Halayim La Yahal Bashim Shai Bashim Hakodash, and all praises to the Most High, His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. And of course, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, rule well, and peace and salutations to all sincere Achim, the brothers wa Akhwathim, the sisters that are listening and learning in all truth, call Amath in sincerity. I'm the brother Mappa from Great Millstone Plain Tables Camp, located here in Great Babylon, the city of Philadelphia. Coming again with another lesson to the Rchak the Holy Spirit. Disclaimer: we are the Hebrew Israelites. We're not connected with any black denominated group, nor are we a black extremist group, as is noted by the Southern Poverty Law Center, and what many people, of course, claim and slander we are. We are the Hebrew Israelites through, of course, the word, the testimony of the Bible, the relics. It all proves that we are the Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, in which, since our seed was scattered amongst the heathen as a curse of disobedience to our power, Yahweh Bashim Shai, we were scattered amongst all nations which are under heaven. So some of our people may look like the heathen, where they've been scattered to, but their seed, by the way of their father, determines that they're Israelite, and it's all due to spirit, okay? Because we don't have the records of nothing, all right? So this is the thing of spiritual and not of carnality, not of the flesh. And if you're not spiritual, you won't understand this. Now, we're going to go into this particular article. I got two actual articles here, or bits of information to go into. So this is off of futurism.com. This was published actually May the 14th in 2018, which is the year of prophecy. We are at the end of 2018, which is only, it's currently December the 28th. So you only have a few more Yawamyam or days to go before, of course, this so-called year of Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man, the ones who are in power, okay, close out their so-called year and bring in what they have, their plans, their agenda for the people, with the ushering of the Rfid microchip, which we believe is the Rfid. We believe it's the mark of the beast. Slach, if I, of course, messed that up. The Rfid microchip is the mark of the beast. All right, just so that you know. We here at Great Millstone believe that, and it's proven through the scriptures and proven through the information which is presented that the Rfid microchip is the mark of the beast. And we foresee that the so-called white man, who is Esau Edom, is going to push forward with making this Rfid microchip technology, or NFC, or near field communication, more used in society, more accepted, and may also make it mandatory. Okay, so we are here as the Hebrew Israelites, the Lord's Nabayayim, the prophets. The prophets, Nabayah is prophet, Yum makes it plural. The prophets of the Lord are there as seers, which they of course tell you prophecy, the things that has been written aforetime, and tell you and warn you so you don't be destroyed. So let's go into the article. It says, all the rage in Sweden, embedding microchip under your skin, which you have it here, the Rfid microchip. It goes into your body beneath your skin, right? So it says, in which we're going to prove that is the mark of the beast. It says, wallets are such a bother. They flop around your pocket or purse, swelling as they mulch on rarely used loyalty cards and superfluous receipts. But we're living in a freaking future now. Why do we still have to lug around several different credit cards, our keys, or irritating doors to the car in the office when technology has far surpassed the need of any of them? Which you see it here. People are seeking for what? Convenience. Where in the past where you had to lug around these items, they of course want to embed an RFID microchip for the convenience to not have to take these things and to be more efficient. All right, gets going on. I'm read. It says lots of people are moving to store these things in their smartphones, of course, using services like Apple Pay and smart locks. But phones can be lost and hacked. So a growing number of phones are Slack. It says so a growing number of people, including for whatsoever reason, about 3,000 Swedes, and this was published earlier in the year, so it's more now, are opting for something even more evasive and arguably practical: a surgically inserted microchip, according to the Associated French press. The chip itself essentially acts as a digital keychain. NFC, which is near field communication, is a way of sending information wirelessly from a passive chip to a reader, but only when they are about 4C or centimeters or 1.6 inches apart. You will have heard of the radio frequency identification, or RFID. NFC is a more sophisticated form of it. It's the same thing. It says a chip in the hand can help people to do things like sign into the gym, unlock doors to cars and offices, and make credit card payments. Over time, as the technology progresses, the implant will be able to do even more. Let's go to the prophecy real quick. I want to try to speed through these. So this is Revelation 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak. Which the image of the beast is the system, the Roman system, which the so-called white man has this whole world using. Okay, it's a Roman system which we're using. Okay, goes on. It says, and it says, and calls that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. You know, and part of course the image of the beast, you got the homosexuality, the democracy, just to speak, lies, blasphemy, many things just to speak it upon. But going on, it says here, so I mean, if you don't want to be a part of this system, all right, which you're gonna see, I'm gonna read verse 16. This is a prophecy. The main point. This is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causes all, both small and great, which he is the so-called white man, who is Esau, Edom. The so-called white man, all right, he calls himself white, meaning pure, but he's not. He's contrary to everything, he's against everything that is pure, all right, which the pure really are the Israelites as a whole, okay? But he calls himself and deems himself to be pure, and he calls us to be black, all right, which carries a negative connotation, okay? Negative energy comes with that, all right, for the lack of words. And it says here, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, so the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, is going to bring forth this, okay, which we see that already. Okay, we see it with the use of this RFID microchip being used, and soon it's going to be mandatory. All right, so you have it here. You always go into the word for Marcus charagma, which is when you go into it, it's an incision. All right, you have it here, a carved thing, a sculpture, a graved work. It goes into your body. All right, simple as that. You have it here, charagma, Right, you have here a mark branded upon horses. All right, this is the Esau Edom's way, of course, of claiming the whole world as his property, but mostly you Edomites. Mostly you you Israelites. All right, which if you take this chip, this Rfid microchip, you're claiming that you are in allegiance with this devil, the so-called white man. You are down with his system. Okay, which this here that you see. Which let me go back to the actual. See it here. Like you see like this is just maybe a wee image of it, of kind of like an X-ray, but you can see the chip is right here. All right. So as the prophecy, is read, okay. It is put in your body. Simple as that. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's in your left or right or wherever. Okay. As simple as that. And it goes beneath your skin, right? Which that is against our law, right? Which you read that in the book of Leviticus 19 chapter and the 28th verse. Okay. And you have to know not to take this Rfid microchip, regardless if it's going to be made mandatory, okay? Because you have to rely on the Lord and what his commandments is, okay? You have to remain loyal to the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, which you Hebrew Israelites, okay, you have a power who created you and created this entire universe, okay? You're a son, and you're supposed to follow after your power, not after the so-called white man, all right? And want to be a part of this this system, okay, his new, which is his new world order. All right, so I want to go to the book of I'm gonna continue read in the Revelation, then I go on. It says here, Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. All right, so if you don't have this mark of the beast, you won't be able to be a functioning person in this society, in this system, which is a pit. Okay, it's nothing but a trap, a snare. Okay, it says, are the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay, it says, here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. All right, this stuff so that you know. All right, so see, if I wanted to go into anything like that, just gonna leave it basic for now. All right, so anyway, going further. All right, this is what the prophet John on the island of Patmos, he received this vision, and he seen people taking this Rfid microchip, this chip. Okay, but the elect are V'chayar Shal Yash'ala, the elect of Israel will not take this mark. All right, and they will be sustained, and if they are to be put to death, they will of course just be put to death and be first to be in the clothes. All right, the chariots. All right, and then the rest of the elect that didn't take the chip, they're gonna get beamed up. All right, but the warning right now, just want to leave things simple, is that you're not supposed to take this chip. All right, and the technology is already here. It's not like it's something that is unfathomable, that's not happened or something. This stuff has already been happening. The technology already been around. All right, as it said, the technology here it says the technology itself is not new. In fact, the Swedes, which are Edomites, as a whole, mostly so-called Europeans and such, right? As a whole, okay, we're speaking, okay, are Edomites. Though, of course, we have our people that are scattered there, all right, amongst Swedish, right? But going on, it says, have been using microchips this way since at least 2015. So it's this technology has been already been used. All right, so you have it here in 2015. It's currently what, 2018 going into 2019. Okay, so they already been using it, so they're ahead. All right, it says before. It says even before then, the groups of people have been meeting at implant parties, often organized by other larger companies, to hook themselves up. The chip are similar to the ones veterinarians implant in dogs and cats for owners to be able to find them in case they run away. All right, which it has ability to track you. Simple as that. That's what the so-called white man wants to do. He wants to track all your every move, all of your transactions. Okay, because he wants you to be what? Forever his slave. All right. And ultimately trying to get his birthright back, which that's not gonna happen. Esau Edom. All right, because as the scripture says here in the book of Job 5, or Yawab, or Job, which means persecuted. He's a prophet as well. And 5 and 12, it says here, he disappointed the Most High, right? So it's the Most High who is the he. Disappointed the devices of the crafty, all right? Which we know that the so-called white man is the crafty, right? Which we know that they were, that serpent, okay? That same spirit was that serpent in the spirit of the serpent in the garden of Eden, or Idon, all right? And also he's in Cain and also in Edom, right? Same spirit, all right? And they're the crafty, all right? Being deceitful, telling lies and such, right? So he disappointed the devices of the crafty, right? So you had devices, okay? Which you go into a device, which is a thought or a plan or a purpose, okay? That is the New World Order when you're going into the enterprise and such, right? It says here, crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, all right? Which they want the whole world chipped, okay? They want to track you, period, all right? And if you're not a willing participant, okay, they want to put you to death, all right? Now let's go to this particular site which I was looking upon. It says here off of betterthancash.org, which when you go into it, Better Than Cash Alliance, the Better Than Cash Alliance is a partnership of government, companies, and international organizations that accelerates the transition from cash to digital payments in order to reduce poverty and drive inclusive growth, which ultimately they want to be more profitable, okay? By bringing forth this system, they want to be able to get rid of fraudulent or you say crime, okay? You can do crime, all right, using currency and such, right? Which they just print out, all right? This fiat currency, not backed by gold or silver or nothing, all right? Real wealth and such. They want to reduce all of that. They want to control all of that, all right? It says inclusive growth is a concept of advances of equitable opportunities for economic participants during economic growth with benefits incurred by every section of society. The concept expands upon traditional economic growth models to include focus on the equity of health, human capital, environment, quality, social protection. All right. So ultimately, they want to benefit um, by phasing out the use of cash. Okay, because first of all, this financial system is going to shite. All right, and as you see, the dollar is being it's being so-called let me see, slack for the lack of words right now. Basically, a lot of the nations are rebelling from using the dollar and such within trade, as it's the world reserve currency and such. All right, so it's losing its value. Okay, and that's gonna bring forth a what? An economic collapse, which is coming very soon. In which, as you can see, if you haven't been paying attention to the news, a lot of the financial analysis or analyzers and such or whatever, they foresee that happening very soon. Okay. Now going on, and says, this, so you have here this better than cash. They have you have a partnership of governments and companies and international organizations that want to accelerate the transition from cash to digital payments, because they want to phase out cash and bring in this this system, all right, using what? Biometrics, okay, body measure, all right. Where they using what? They using various form of technology to authenticate you and such, right? Like, that's what they want with this RFID microchip, all right. With cash, there's no name on that note other than the so-called white man on there in the Federal Reserve, which is a private company, okay, corporation and such, all right, printing money, issuing it to the U.S. government, all right. And you have these other countries which they have to, convert their money into dollars in order to pay, all right, conduct trade and such, all right. Right, so I want to go right here. It's locking from all over the place. You have accelerate, which it means to increase the amount to extent. All right, so that, they want to make it more quickly. All right, they want to bring forth this phasing out of cash into using digital payment systems. Right, which the RFID microchip, all right, has that ability. All right, that's the main ability. Okay. Just buying and selling and such, everything is, just digital, okay, instead of just you getting physical money and such. All right, everything's gonna get processed via digital, all right, digital platform and such. So I want to go down and just show you here, right? So you have this organization, right, or this this partnership, right, Cash Alliance Partners. It says advocating. This is what they specialize in, right? It says advocating the transition from cash to digital payments in the way of the advance and financial inclusion that promotes responsible digital finance. It says conducting research, the sharing of experiences of our members. So they have all of these participating members, which they would share the information, all right, which they can use that to what? Better, all right, make their system more efficient and such, all right, okay, because they have data, okay, in which they can analyze. All right, going on, it says catalyzing, which is the development of inclusive digital payment ecosystems and member countries to reduce costs, increasing transparency. All right, advance of financial inclusion, particularly for women and drive inclusive growth. All right, so you have here all these different you have basically the major countries, all right. So you're gonna have part of the beast, you're gonna have which is the beast, you guys, NATO, the EU participates within this, all right, like you have here, say like for example, if they're not a member, which you have it here marked in red, they're not a member of the Better Cash Alliances through that G20. They're endorsing the high level principles for digital financial inclusion. All right, so they all in Confederacy just when you go into it. Okay, most of the major nations. All right. I mean, you even got China. Where you got China, Russia. All right. South Africa. You got BRICS nations and such. Brazil. All right. Let me see if they got India. Let's see. Yeah, they got India. India is part of the Cash Alliance. All right. So you will find out like a lot of these nations are, like we speaking of Sweden. All right. China. A lot of these nations there, they've been phasing out cash and such. All right. But going on now, I want to go to this Slovakia. This right here, and it says how cities will win digital payments and future of smart, which is just off of the bettercash.org. All right, so I wanted to highlight certain information here, which it was here in this particular paragraph under benefits beyond cutting cash, I believe. Or let me see. Let me just make sure. So I check because this is through the Spirit. Right, which you could see. I'm just going through this. You have, these various NFC or RFID. You have this NFC card. The tap and go. You have that on, on public transport. They're of course collecting all this information. As they say here, look. This is some of the benefits of using this, this technology. Provides little to no let me see. It says expose users and staff to crime. Offers opportunities. Let me see. Oh, SLA. These are going to be actual reasons, of course, why, say, for example, like making a bus, all right, when they using cash and such, these are like some of the cons of it, right? Of using cash and such, right? It said provides little of no transaction data, exposes users to staff to crime. You get robbed. Users offer opportunities for petty fraud. You got a lot of different hustles. Counterfeit, bus passes, etc., etc. All right, interferes with bus operations. Slowing it down. And basically, they're going into how using this NFC technology on buses, and just in general, right? This particularly on buses, it increased revenue and such. And they said results are immediate. So they want this technology, the RFID and the microchip, which ultimately, like you said, you got this kiosk and such. You have like here in Philadelphia, they had to accept the key and have a kiosk, and they had the accept the key cards. You just put the card in close proximity, to the reader. It reads it, which you load it up with cash, or you could digitally reload it, use your debit card, credit cards, etc., etc. All right, and then you can pay for your fare. Okay, and they can track you with that. They know everywhere where you're traveling and such. And the times, everything. So the technology is already there. The RFID microchip. All right, they just got to make that mandatory. Okay, they have it where in Sweden they're using the NFC, as they call it over there, to pay for travel and public transport already. Okay, it's just not over here where they're using that yet. Okay, but the technology, they're already using it. Okay. But I wanted to go into and Slock if this is a bit too long and all over the place, but just a bit excited. Because it kind of was reading in this, it basically gave out like a reason of why or how they go about to do this, this phasing out process. I just gotta find it. Yeah, here it is. I'm just gonna read right here, and I believe it's around here in this section. Slock. It says when property digitalized transit payment offer an excellent use case for cashless payment adoption. They are low value, high frequency, and often high stress payments. If users see sufficient value and are offered sufficient incentives, which incentive is going to be a reason. Okay, they're going to be reasons, which that comes with benefits. All right. Which you can go into like low fares and such with this particular, we're talking about for buses and such. All right, discounted fares and such. But anyway, going on, it says they will adopt a new payment technology, resulting in a more bottom-up embrace of digital payment. So they're basically telling you that do this whole technology, which, like I said, they using these NFC cards, the Google Pay, Apple Pay, all of these different means of cashless payments just to condition you, all right, to get to when they actually roll out this RFID microchip full scale, all right, being used, okay, as the new form of transactions, payments, and such. All right, you already be knowing, you be already ready for it, okay? You've already been using the whole system, okay? So it's not gonna confuse you. All right, simple as that. All right, and they're gonna give you benefits. All right, offer that, right? So it says here, however, this can only happen if regional governments take a strategic view of digitalization. And so they got governments, they gotta have a strategy, which that goes into you having an agenda or a plan. All right, we're gonna do this and that, okay, to make this and to get to this end goal, ensuring that any payment technology is interoperable. Let me see. Let me look into this term. I'm unfamiliar with it. It says interoperable, which is computer systems or software able to exchange or make use of information. All right, so ensuring that any payment technologies are interoperable, all right, and implemented as part of a wider vision. Cities around the world have seen this example of a potential avenue for driving digital payment adoption. In 2017, Mexico City rolled out a new transit debit card that can be used as to make utility payments and purchase to participate in vendors. And they do the same thing. You have Visa. They this technology, they partner with different these credit card, okay, companies, banks, and such, right? All right, you can use the same technology from the card, all right, because it has that technology just to and just load that up with money, okay, and you could use that and pay for your different utilities and such. All right, whereas like we the Apostle Elder Ariam Lab in his recent video was talking about that in the past how we used to have to go to these different you'll go to a store and then at the store you would you give the money to the the particular the cash register person, all right, and then they would basically just take the money and put it in the system, all right, now, of course, do digital. Things are digital, okay, and that was digital, but I mean, you have it now where you could just you use everything with the computer. All right, you don't have to even go to the store to do that transaction. You could do everything online and such. All right, with your cell phone, etc., etc. All right. So, you know, they're cutting out and phasing out cash. All right, let me get one scripture, and I'm about to close out. This was gonna go in another direction, but I may have to just do another lesson on it. It says, this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, "Least Satan, which is the so-called white man, the physical counterpart for Satan, which is the enemy or adversary, is the so-called white man. He's the enemy adversary of the nation of Israel. All right, should get an advantage of us." It says, "Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant, meaning not to know, of his devices." And part of his devices is this RFID microchip / NFC technology, which when you go into it, when he implements and rolls out this chip, which is the mark of the beast, okay, he will destroy you if you of course listen, okay, to him. All right, being in a in a state that you reject that the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast. That's foolish. Okay, we have the knowledge that it is. Okay, and the scriptures prove it. We have the men, which are the prophets back in the reincarnation. All right, the elders and apostles, that great millstone, and the brothers that follow the doctrine, Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, who have the breakdown, the proper breakdown that it is the chip. I mean, it's easy if you can, go into the breakdowns and understand it. Simple as that. So, Slock, if this was long and drawn out, hopefully you're edified. Know that this RFID microchip is the chip. All right, or is the mark of the beast, Slock. All right, the chip is the mark of the beast. All right, and it's gonna be continued to be pushed. All right, especially in this year, as you can see. They've been talking about it more frequently in the news and in mainstream media. And, I mean, as you see, the cash is being phased out. Great millstone. Shalom.